All right, welcome back to the SSL Family Dad channel. Today we're going to talk about, did the governor of Michigan just cancel gardening for the month? And also my coronavirus predictions. My predictions for how do we skate out of this thing? What's going to happen over the next 3, 6, 9 months, year even? My predictions at how life may change a little bit for us. So let's talk about it. So last night, officially at 11:59 p.m., we are here in Michigan on the new or second 3 weeks of our stay home, stay safe order from the governor of Michigan. What that means is, well, nothing much different than the last 3 weeks that we just came through. Essential businesses are shut down. Everyone is told to stay in their home. There are some new things that have taken effect, though, for this 3 weeks. They're cracking down a little bit harder on people. I went out to the gas station the other day, to get gas for the excavator, do some trenching and things like that, and fill up my tanks of gas for generators and my tractor and other things. We're supposed to be on this lockdown. Everything's supposed to be, people are supposed to be staying home. The gas station was busy. The dollar store was busy. Traffic looked about the same. There's truckers out, obviously. There's people out everywhere. People are going in and out of the gas stations, going in and out of everywhere. The traffic and the busyness of the place looked just about like normal. It didn't look that different to me. And I think that the problem is a lot of people aren't really taking this super seriously. And so with this new order, the governor is trying to crack down on people going out and making trips, unnecessary trips and things. And so one of the new things they put in place are, if you have a vacation home, as of today, you need to pick whether you're going to be at the vacation home or whether you're going to be at your permanent residence, and you need to stay there. After today, there's no movement between homes. There's also, they shut down gardening centers. And this was a huge surprise to me. There's even a spot in the order that says that if you are, like, let's say Home Depot or a farm store or Walmart or something like that, they either have to remove gardening products from the stores, from the shelves. They either need to remove them or they need to cordon off the areas so that people cannot go and shop in those areas. So I was a little surprised by this. This is kind of a new part to that order. I had some plans to go and buy some fruit trees and get some things started around here. We are technically, as a farm, considered exempt from the stay home, stay safe order in regards to our business operations here. We can still farm and do those things, but if all the nurseries, greenhouses, and other places are shut down and I need to buy supplies, or other places need to buy supplies, they can't. And so that's going to be a little interesting over the next 3 weeks. So that means into May 1st would be the first time that we could go out and purchase gardening stuff and supplies. And so that's, we'll have to be creative around here for a little while. You will be seeing some videos on being creative and using what we have around here. Things are going to be a little different. Some of my plans have changed a little bit. I have so many projects that I'm itching to start and finish. The Sugar Shack, I've got some kids, family-oriented stuff that I want to build. Shelving, I've got utility projects in the works in the house. And I'm really trying not to go to, Home Depot and make all these trips to hardware stores and things right now. And so a lot of that stuff's been put on hold. And hopefully we'll be able to get back into that stuff here soon. For those of you out there in Michigan anyway, and maybe other states who've shut down this kind of thing, I know some of the other stay home, stay safe orders look very similar. I think we just have to be creative. Online is our best resource. So MI Gardener for seeds. There's also, you can get strawberry plants, and I think he has onion sets and garlic sets and other things like that you can get that you can't get at a lot of other seed places. And so check out MI Gardener stuff. Obviously, we're an affiliate with him and we buy all our stuff through him as much as possible. He's having trouble keeping up with things, and so get in there quick and get what you can out of the seed store, and use the link in the description, of course, to get 10% off. Or 10 cents off each packet anyway. And also, I'm looking at a lot of other online resources. I may order all my fruit trees through an online nursery this year, and a lot of other things. And so there's still ways for us to garden and get the things we need. Obviously, Amazon's a good resource. However, have you guys noticed buying things on Amazon? Man, they're prioritizing all their shipments and warehouse space, and so it's hard to get things. So you really got to plan ahead, even with Amazon. I've had a lot of stuff we've ordered that has been 2 or 3, even 4 weeks out for pretty standard stuff. You guys got to plan ahead. Gardening season is kind of starting upon us here. We really can't plant in the ground until May here in Michigan, but man, there's still a lot of things to do ahead of time. And so I would plan ahead and get the things you need now and start thinking about that so that you can stay ahead of the game. So things have definitely changed around here. As this goes on longer and longer, I find myself needing more things from local stores. And so it's definitely starting to hinder the work that I'm trying to do here and things I'm trying to get done. But I'm probably gonna have to break down and make at least a trip to the farm store, maybe a Home Depot trip in this 3-week period, and just do a big order and get, you know, everything that I need to get a bunch of stuff done here on the farm. So what does this mean for us long term? What is life gonna look like? What does it mean for us over the course of the next couple months as we come into spring here, and even as we get into summer and thinking ahead to next fall? What is life going to look like? Is it going to go back to normal? Is it going to be different? So here's my predictions, and let me preface this. I could be completely wrong here. This is totally my opinion. I have access to all the same information that everyone else does. I'm not an expert in the medical field or pandemics or anything else like that. I'm just making an educated guess at what I think is going to happen over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months. What we're seeing right now is, you know, you've got a lot of states that are kind of these hotbeds, these areas that are really spiking. Michigan is one of them. New York is another one. New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Florida, Louisiana, California, Washington State. They've kind of come out of their time. And a few others, Illinois and some others. You see these really big spikes in cases, this thing's spreading around. A lot of people are dying, unfortunately. A lot of people are getting sick. I've seen some friends of ours that have gotten this, and it's awful. You know, it took them down for fevers for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 days, coughs and trouble breathing and all these things. So it can be pretty bad for people. And what you're seeing is a lot of states that there's not that many cases. It might be 1,000 or less. But you're seeing those states kind of start, they're kind of at a different point in this. Like, we're all at different points in this. Michigan is kind of hitting the peak time, I hope, and where we're going to see, you know, cases and infections and stuff like that start to trail off a little bit. A lot of other states are just at the bottom, and they're just starting to come up. And so this is what I think is going to happen. I don't think this thing's not going away. It's not going away anytime soon. There is no cure. There is no vaccine for this. The only way this goes away permanently is when the vaccine comes around and everybody get vaccinated against it, or what's called herd immunity happens, where enough people get it in the country, maybe 60% of people get it, and they build up their own natural defenses for it, and so it stops spreading around quite as much. Those things, we're not even close to those things happening. And so I feel like what's going to happen is probably we need to be thinking a little bit long term here. There's probably going to be some effect on our life over the next 3 months, certainly 6 months, probably, and even up to a year from now. I think things are still going to look different. Shaking hands with people, meeting with people, you know, church services and concerts and sporting events and all these large gatherings of people. When is this going to go back to normal? I don't really have a good answer for that, but I can tell you that this is certainly going to come in waves, I feel like. As soon as they start to release the restrictions here in Michigan, for instance, maybe at the end of 3 weeks, maybe they start to loosen up, say everybody go back to work, or some people go back to work, or whatever. But there's still going to be limits. There's still going to be, don't gather more than 50 people. There's still going to be, you know, social distancing. There's still going to be limits on all these kinds of things. And then once things start to die down in Michigan, things are going to be spiking up in other areas, and then they're going to be locking down. And then I feel like things are going to kind of roll back into Michigan and roll back into New York and roll back into Florida and these other states. And it's going to kind of keep leapfrogging around the world. I mean, this thing is everywhere. It's not going away. We're not getting rid of this. You know, that's unfortunate, and it's not meant to, worry anybody. It's just the fact of life we need to think about. Things are going to look different. And we need to kind of prepare for that. There's a lot more ways to virtually do business. There's a lot more ways to buy things online. And a lot of people, I think, have been forced into this. We've been doing a lot of these things for a long time. We buy a lot of stuff online. Our stores are about a half an hour away from our house anyway. And so, you know, I think we just need to adjust our life a little bit. And we're going to get through this. But I definitely think that we're not going to, you know, at the end of our stay home, stay safe order, you know, life just goes back to normal. Everything's lifted. Everybody goes back to work. Everybody goes back to doing exactly what they were doing before. And this thing's just gone. I think that's kind of a false hope that, you know, we shouldn't have. I think we need to be realistic. And so that's my prediction. that this thing's going to kind of be leapfrogging around, and that we're going to see, you know, restrictions lifted and then restrictions kind of put back on, and things in the middle are going to look a lot different than we're used to. And I think that's, you know, it's just a fact of life. It's what we got to do. And I do think that the more that we listen to these silly orders, like, you know, we can't buy gardening supplies for a month or whatever, I think that's going to help keep people home, keep people from spreading this thing. There's a nursing home right nearby here in our little community that just, you know, got a bunch of cases of this, and it's sad. You know, it's sad to see, especially older people or people, you know, with other conditions that are getting sick and not making it through this. And so we pray for them. We pray for a lot of the nurses and doctors and other things that are out there, you know, dealing with this stuff every day. A lot of our friends are nurses and work in healthcare and stuff. And so, you know, the best thing we can do right now is pray for them and encourage those who are dealing with this, and help people around us, support your communities. There is a huge resurgence and interest in gardening right now. In homesteading. And so if you're out there and you're a veteran gardener, homesteader, farmer, hobby farmer, whatever you want to call it, sustainability person, now is your time to shine, because everyone is wondering, hey, maybe I should grow my own food. Maybe I should start a garden this year. Maybe I should do this. Now is our time to help those people, help people in our communities, help our neighbors, help our friends, virtually, I guess, during this time, and share what we know, what we've learned, and what we do with other people that works, and so we can help everybody through this time. What a great time to share gardening experience with other people. That has been the hugest growth in the YouTube channel, in our YouTube channel, and I'm sure many others out there. The gardening topics and homesteading and prepping and canning and preserving food and all this stuff, everyone is just very interested in that right now. And so it's time for us to share knowledge with others. So I'd love to hear from you guys. What do you think is going to happen? What do you predict? I'd love to hear how you guys are doing in other states. And what do you predict is going to happen over the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months? What do you think this is going to look like? I'd love to hear your predictions down below. Then we can all come back in 6 months and look at this and see how right or hopefully wrong we were. Hopefully this thing just tanks out in the summer, and things look a lot better, and things can go more back to normal. But I have a feeling that may not look exactly that way. So thumbs up on today's video, guys. Subscribe if this is your first time here. We do gardening, we do sustainability stuff, we do farming, we do DIY projects, we build things, we tear things apart, we burn things, we shoot things sometimes, and we grow things. And that's just what we do here. So I'd love to have you tag along for all the fun coming up here in the spring. Lots of gardening with what we have around and building with what we have around and growing with what we have around. That's what we're going to be doing over the next couple months. So join us for that. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.